Now I've made my next block, which is another even block. I'll show you why in a moment. And I realised that on the previous video, when I got to this stage, I said pop it out of a hoop. I didn't really mean that. I meant pop the hoop out of the machine and turn it over and just check that there are no snaggy bits on the back. Now this time we're going to join the row of 4 blocks that are here already to this, and I want them to be joined so they're like that. So this one's going to go here, so that means I've got to join that edge to that edge. So I don't need the next colour, which wants to put a seam down here. I need to turn it to the next one, which is going to put a seam across here. So I've got to line this up. That means that's the edge of the backing fabric I've got to fold in so that I can see where I'm going to stitch it. So I'm going to put that back into the machine. And I'm going to line this block up with that. I need to put that back down there, so finding the seam here, and it's going to go along that edge. I'm just going to test it. I realised that on the previous video also my hand was in the way quite a lot, so I'm just going to test that to see where it goes down, and I quite like that. Just a little adjustment there. It's not quite so easy to watch this one because you can't see exactly where it's stitching, so I might do it a little bit slower. Just do a little bit at a time and then stop it. I realise that's going off the line a little bit, so I'm just going to adjust it. You might think that my fingers are getting in the way quite a lot, but what I'm doing really is exactly the same as if I was sewing this on the sewing machine. I'm just guiding in front of the needle. I'm really not putting my fingers in any danger under the needle, but that's now stitched that seam. It's coming back to the beginning of the design. So if I turn that up there, you'll see that's stitched the first block in my second row. Now I've only got a row of 4 here. I'm only going to try and do a 4x4 piece of quilting, and I think that will manage quite well joining it like this. If you're trying to do anything bigger, you might want to join rows and then make the rows separately and join them on the sewing machine. It depends how much bulk you feel you can manage, but my wadding is quite nice and thin and light, and it's not going to get too bulky, and my sheeting that I'm using underneath is not going to get too bulky. Let me just show you while this is here how I've trimmed these. I've trimmed the backing, I've trimmed the sheeting and the front fabrics to match the backing. I've just really gone round the backing. I haven't cut anything off the backing, I've just cut everything else off to match so that I get nice, neat seams. When you press it, those seams can be pressed open at this stage. So don't go too mad with the pressing, but just a light press is always satisfying, isn't it? So there we are, that's row 2 started. I'll do one more video to show you how to put the next block in here, because you can see that needs 2 seams, and it will be an odd block, so it will have a black centre and patterned edge. Okay.